Hello Internet, I'm HamsterBomb.
And I'm Timothy.
You guys are back for another Pokemon collection video, and we are finally ending the Pokemon TFG series. We're going to be looking at the second half, or the remainder of the figures from the mysterious, unreleased third set with no name of the trading figure game. We looked at the last time we looked at the beginning of this set of the other figures that at least I own. And I mentioned at the end of that episode that this is the only set that I have figures missing from and probably will never find. So how about we quickly go over at least who they are and why we're probably never going to find them, because they all pretty much apply to the same thing. So I am missing in alphabetical order. I'm missing Marshtomp. I'm also missing Plusle, Minun. I just said alphabetical order, but I had to say them like that, I guess. I'm missing Sneasel and Tyrogue. So those are the only ones, and they all kind of fall into the same
mythical status.
well, the same problem of I believe, and so do people online, that these were they were going to get circulated and they were going to make a lot more of them. But the thing is, the TFG was canceled before that even happened, so only like their prototype exists and maybe a few examples to show people in meetings, right? And that's it. So there's so few of those. Now, people have gotten their hands on some Marshtomps and Plusles. Very few people, like 3. But there's only one photo online to even prove the existence of Sneasel, Tyrogue, and Minun, each. So those are basically, I think those only have one, and that's it.
So when Pokemon Duel came out, did that kind of confirm that that's what those figures look like? And kind of
well, not what they looked like. Duel changed all the poses, unfortunately.
Oh, they did? Okay.
But it did show that those were in that set because they did release with it. So really weird. But anyway, we got a lot of really cool ones that I do have here. I kind of consider my collection complete. I mean, within reason. It's not like this isn't like a money thing. I mean, it would be even if someone did pop up and offer me one, because they'd probably ask for like $1,000 for one of these figures.
And you would?
No, of course not. Good. I don't have that money.
I was just making sure. That was the correct answer, sir.
Good. Okay, so anyway, let's look at the ones that I do have, and as we go through these, I will mention typically what kind of rarity you're looking at for these guys. So this first one we got here is a Nuzleaf. Kim was even looking at the set list on here before and said, oh, well, man, you're missing a Nuzleaf, right? I'm like, no, I got a Nuzleaf.
I guess I've never seen it before.
It's another one of those figures that she doesn't think I actually had. The only one from his line that got to show up in the TFG. Pretty cool. He's like a middle stage. Though I always look at Nuzleaf and I think of him as like his own thing, because he looks nothing like C-Dot.
I thought he was the first stage again for a second too, because I forgot about C-Dot.
Yeah, he looks nothing like C-Dot and he looks nothing like Shiftry. This line is so weird to me. Also, he's grass dark.
I can make the connection of Nuzleaf to Shiftry, but I feel like he's the first stage. He's not the middle one.
Yeah, but even he evolves weird. He's a Leaf Stone evolved. It's whatever.
Wait, really?
Yeah, it's super. You evolve C-Dot to Nuzleaf by level, and then it's a Leaf Stone.
That's weird.
Yeah, he's so weird, and he's dark type. Anyway, I would just... His pose is just okay. I don't know, he's playing football or something.
It's a Nuzleaf. What else do you do with that?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's Kyoto. They come up with some really creative stuff. So in this set, we got Heracross.
Oh, yeah, kind of goes with...
We also need his counterpart,
right.
Pinsir. Heracross was actually created to give bug types more really strong Pokemon options, because Pinsir was like your only choice in Gen 1. So those two kind of had like a rivalry from those points on. So it's probably why they included both of them, and why we got later in this set Seviper to the Zangoose that we got from the original set. So
I really like
pretty cool for rivals. Oh, this is a really cool one too. Those first two figures, by the way, are pretty common, pretty easy to come by. This one, no, this one's a lot more rare. If you can get your hands on this for anything under $40, good job. He's really hard to find.
I'm sorry, Raikou fans, because I've actually learned there's quite a few Raikou fans out there.
Which is good,
right? I like Raikou.
Raikou's awesome.
He's my favorite dog.
He's probably has my favorite shiny of the dogs. One thing that kind of bothers me about him, makes me a little sad, is his paint is chipped just on his nose. You can turn to his nose. Just a little flake right there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just a bit. I might be able to cover that up and you probably won't even see it, but Yeah, I mean, his pose isn't anything spectacular, but as we mentioned...
I like his pose. He's got this arm out here. That's kind of hard to do. I mean, it's not an easy sculpt.
No, it's not an easy sculpt for sure. His tail also only attaches on the one spot you would expect it to. So, also, as I mentioned last time, the 3 dogs are all standing on their own little cliff edge bases, and they look really cool all together. Because they're all like standing together like on the edges of a mountain or something, and
so you can like put them in a little triad because like Raikou can hang off on their right side and then Suicune's on the left and then
exactly. That's actually how it was designed. You know, like how they make Pokemon cards where they actually plan for you to display them next to another card or something like that with art that blends over. It's like they were planning on doing that with the legendary dogs this time. Really cool. Also, one of my favorite legendaries, we have a Rayquaza. I'm having issues trying to figure out where I should put the focus because he's he's
so close here.
Right, and then he won't be back there.
So far away here.
He's a really weird sculpt, and honestly, I'm not sure if I like it. Just because of what they could have done with Rayquaza. I think Kyoto also did chess pieces with the Rayquaza, and that piece is a lot cooler because it's more vertical, which honestly would have worked a lot better as a spinning figure. This one's really lopsided, and as you can see, you can't even really get your finger.
Hard to move.
Yeah, you can't even really get your finger underneath his body side.
Let's see here.
Kim's not making this easy on me. Yeah, don't even bother, Kim. It's just...
He doesn't.
Don't even bother. It's just really hard. He's one of those figures that showcase that weird, mysterious gold attack that wouldn't make sense until Pokemon Duel came out. Aside from that, I think he was really good. He's really cool. Which, by the way, I had an extra. And let me just tell you, painting that was so hard. But Rayquaza is typically, rejoice, pretty easy to find. Not so bad. So is this one, Seviper. Which, do I have an extra of him? I wish I did. I don't think I do. Because that'd be a really cool...
Oh, look at that. Look how, like...
shiny paint.
Narrowly that doesn't touch. Do you see that?
Yeah,
is anybody else seeing that right there?
Very close. Also, I'm glad to see a slightly different pose for Seviper. Because typically he's always in the same...
I feel like he can't get out of that. Like,
right,
I can't see him slithering. It doesn't work.
Snakes don't work like this. They don't Loch Ness monster their way around. Nothing's bones could work like that. They'd be breaking. But Seviper just does it somehow. I don't get it.
And he goes the other way too, I think. I don't know.
I've never seen him actually slither.
That's true. I've never seen him slither.
But anyway, pretty common one, not so bad to find. Same for this one here.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. A Snorlax, about what you would expect him to do in a TFG figure. Just kind of lay there. I believe he's also... Yeah, he just sleeps. This is his ability. He just does
body
sleep.
Slam.
Yeah, he's got body slam pound, and he can miss.
Sleep.
In sleep. Mostly sleep. All right, there's Snorlax. Yeah, a pretty common one. Nothing really exciting about him, unless you're, like, searching out for a Snorlax. If I had a really cool blue, I might shiny piny an extra. This one, however, is a lot harder to find. I want to say, him and Raikou are both on the same level of rarity.
Oh, really? I thought this one was rarer.
Okay, here. They're on the same level of rarity, but finding a Suicune that isn't broken is a lot harder. This may be the #1 TFG for breaks they've ever made, which is weird because it's in their 3rd set. They had to have known by the time they were developing this that these figures were breaking because they were too delicate. Yet look what they did with his ribbon tails. They could have easily, like, I even think on the Tomy, don't they like mold on the side of his body?
I have no idea. I've never seen the Tomy.
So I'm pretty sure they don't do that. A Tomy wouldn't do that.
Why does his front leg just look broken to me? I don't.
That's how it works. They're legendary dogs, but they're also cats.
Like, something about it doesn't look right.
Yeah, I like how they have that shining glossy paint on the crystal on his head, but the rest of him is matte.
I'm kind of surprised his crystal's not clear. You know, that's kind of what I would have expected from this team.
Yeah, I guess. I really like the flowing they did. Like, it looks like it's really windy wherever he is. And they made those extra long, too, those ribbons.
Windy in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I do have an extra Suicune, but his ribbon tail broke. And the seller claimed that they shipped the broken part. It wasn't there. And they once again just said, well, screw you. And that was the end of that. And got screwed out of a Suicune figure. So had to hunt down another one. Really stunk. Probably the most common TFG figure ever. Even over any Next Quest figure. I don't know why.
Oh my god, he has 3... Oh no, those are his back 2 toes.
Those are his back toes.
Oh, I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, he has 3 feet. I didn't see it was just his back 2 toes.
So,
it's okay, guys.
Yeah, it's really weird. This is the most common TFG figure ever. So if you're buying lots, you're getting a Talo. I don't know why. There's just a ton of these. And it's unfortunate that it happens to be Talo. You know, of all of them that are so common, couldn't it have been something that everyone really wanted?
That seems like the
Mewtwo from
thing.
Groundbreakers or something.
That seems right, though. It would be Talo.
So yeah, most bases that people break off from Groundbreakers to, you know, sacrifice the figure and give it to somebody else, they're mostly Talos.
Not Chimchars?
Well, a lot of Chimchars too, but mostly Talos.
You have a lot to say about this one, so...
I have 2 of these, yes. The first one I got, his tentacle was hanging over his front. It looked really weird. His tentacle was attached different, and I didn't notice it till I got a second one that just came in a lot. I was trying to buy something else. And yeah, he's really strange. If you want to see my other Tentacruel, I have him in my other TFG series, a whole playlist on the TFG where we go into much more detail about these things. Right now we're just kind of looking at the sets as a whole, but still, just the Tentacruel figure in general, like, look at all the clear plastic on him.
I just love his clear plastic, because it's not completely clear, because he has the little ball inside of that, that's his opaque
Yeah, there's
part.
an opaque ball inside, and there's a clear ball outside of it. I like the little gem, too, on
It's just so cool.
Yeah, I would I'd really wish I had a shiny one of those, but I'd ruin the clear plastic.
You would,
So,
yeah.
I feel like I can't do it. Even the water he was on was clear plastic, too. We didn't even see that.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Next up here...
Sassy Tropius.
A sassy Tropius. He's also pretty common. The Tentacruel is also not too hard to get your hands on either. So Tentacruel and Tropius, pretty easy to find. Pretty simple pose too.
I like seeing Tropius on the ground.
I also like seeing
more comfortable.
Yeah, his 3D model really bothers me now, but I really like just seeing Tropius at all. I feel like he's one of those forgotten Pokemon from Gen 3. Even in Gen 3, I feel like he was like this random dinosaur that you could find in the jungle, and that was it. Like, you never really saw him again, ever. And I don't know, I think he's a really cool Pokemon. So glad that he kind of gets immortalized as a TFG figure. Oh, a lot of people's favorite, and guess what? He's common. You can actually find one of these, Tyrannotars. Unfortunately, this is one of the very few that I'm like, I love the Pokemon, but
he's kind of lame.
Yeah, I'm not thrilled on that pose. I don't know why. It's just not that exciting.
Why is it only half of his body? He's not like a large, like, Leviathan, like Kyogre or something like that.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't know what the deal is. Yeah, something about it. Like, what? At the same time, I complain about the figure pose. I don't know what else they could have done. You know?
I know. You've seen his cards. They get really weird because they don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, but there's just something about that one that just... It reminds me of those Prime cards where it's just face. You know?
True, yeah.
I think that's what I'm getting out of it, and I wanted to see more. These figures are so detailed. Like, look at that Suicune. They go so far over the top that, you know, I'm not even sure anymore of, like, how much work they want to put into some of these.
I love this Wishmer so much.
I'm really glad I got my hands on this. This was the latest figure that I was able to add to my collection, and might be the last one I ever get. Unless magically one of the figures I mentioned at the top of the episode becomes common, like this guy. I don't think so. Whismer was one of those impossible to find Pokemon, like the Marshtomp, the Minun, a Tyrogue. No one had this until all of a sudden they were everywhere for like $3 each on eBay. They were all over the place. So clearly whoever found a box of these things did not know how rare they were, because what they should have done was
Post them slowly.
1 week at a time, put a bid for a single one. Those would have sold for, like, I want to say several $100s each, guaranteed.
Yep.
And that would have been a steady income constantly. But no, they didn't know what they were doing, and they were all released at the same time. But I guess lucky for us, we all got the Whismer figure for like a few bucks, which is awesome. Now, the clear plastic on the bottom. Do you see, like, all the splashes they managed to get in there?
It's not even, like, a perfect circle like our other ones are.
Right. And I really love the drips.
And he's so sad.
I really love all the little drips that they got in the water in the clear plastic.
So much.
I know, you love Whismur. I do have another Whismur. The seller was actually nice enough to send me a second one because the first one came in missing his arm. So it looked like he had something to cry about.
Yeah, it was even sadder.
I still have it. I don't know what to do with him, but yeah, it's so weird that I technically have two of what I once thought was some of the rarest figures in the TFG. Now, continuing, we have more trainers that were added in this third set, and it's really cool to see that they were continuing with this gym leader thing, because oddly, if you remember in Groundbreakers, they skipped these two gym leaders. So, their first set, they give you the first two gym leaders. Mm-hmm. But only in the third set do we get the third and fourth. Fifth and sixth are in the second set.
Yeah.
So, really confusing, but anyway, based on their fire red, leaf green designs, we have Erika and Lieutenant Surge. Erika is a lot rarer than Surge is. And Surge is not too easy to find, but Erika, she took me a long time to find. Also, I really like the patterning they did on her kimono. Surge, he's also, I think he's the tallest of the trainer figures.
He should be.
He probably should be. He's huge. In the anime, they made him a giant. Other than that, I mean, like I said, Surge, if you're going to find, I might want to say he might be the most common gym leader that you can find, but that's, you know, saying something because the gym leaders
are not easy to find.
Yeah, everybody wants a gym leader, but he's probably the easiest one to find. Erika's up there as one of the hardest, though. Erika is definitely harder than Brock and Misty, for sure. Awesome. So this is technically called Sean. Kim, be careful. I don't think he's glued down to his base because he's actually really hard to find. Which makes no sense.
It's so lame.
No, that would mean that the demand is low, so the supply should be high, but no, there's no supply of these guys. He's actually really hard to find, for some reason. So mine's even dirty. He was off of his base. So what I did was I popped off another Brendan extra I had and kind of gave it to him. I haven't glued any of my figures down yet. I kind of wanted to clean them, reorganize people, and then start gluing them down. But, yeah, I'm not sure. But at least I found one, you know?
Right.
He's technically called Sean for people who are trying to find him. But, yeah, it's a weird coloration difference of a Brendan. And then the final coloration difference of Trainer Red is Trainer Yellow. These are the last ones we're going to get. Now, technically, Trainer Yellow would look like Red, I guess, because you're playing Pokemon Yellow, and in Pokemon Yellow, you really just had a male option. The female option, really, being honest, didn't happen until Pokemon Crystal or in Gen 1, Fire Red, Leaf Green. So, I kind of get it that they didn't do more of those, but Fire Red, Leaf Green was the big thing that came out at the time. I don't understand why, in at least Groundbreakers, we didn't get the female version. Oh man, what was the girl's name? What's the female in Ruby and Sapphire? It's Brendan and
May.
May. Yeah, why didn't we get a May? We got 3 Brendans. And just likewise,
No. We don't have 3 Brendans. We have Brendan,
Sean, and Landon or something.
Lance.
It's Landon.
Landon.
Elite 4 members would have been so cool to get in this too. But unfortunately, that's all the trainers we have. If you check out my hold on, before we go on, if you check out my TFG playlist, I do have a video of someone who made me a custom Blaine to go with the TFG, and it's so cool. And that means that I only need a Giovanni. If I ever met anybody who could sculpt like that, I'd be like, oh, please, a Giovanni. I'd be so excited for that. But anyway, that right there, as we've just shown, is the end of the third set, technically. There were, however, 3 promos that were planned and made for this set, and they have varying rarities. Some you'll find all over the place, others you won't at all. Manaphy is this first one, and Manaphy is not too hard to find, really. I mean, this is one you'll probably get in a lot of
look at its little
lots.
wave. It's really cute.
It's also balanced really well, considering how strange that pose is.
I mean, look at it. I kind of get the weight balance. It works.
Yeah. But yeah, there's clear plastic in that wave. Once again, if you guys remember, this is Ruby Sapphire, Fire Red, Leaf Green times right now, so Diamond and Pearl is coming soon. They're trying to build hype for that, and by doing it, they're, if you remember in the first set, Next Quest, we had the Sinnoh starters. Now we're starting to get some of the legendaries, so they're really trying to promote their new series coming out. And I'm assuming a fourth TFG set would have included a lot of Gen 4 Pokemon. This one is a lot harder to find because he breaks a lot. You'll find broken Darkrai's all over the place. But Darkrai in one piece, sure, you can buy it. He'll come in broken. That's how it works. So
he's really cool.
I think I bought a broken one and intentionally did that to repair him, because the ones that are well, for one, if you try to buy one in one piece, he'll come in broken. But they cost a lot more. They have gone down in price and they've been a little bit more common lately, but still they break a lot, so be prepared for a lot of hours of frustrating super gluing and trying to make sure that the residue's not there anymore, which I think I did a pretty good job on him.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad. I thought it was one piece, but then I remembered every Darkrai you've ever gotten came in broken, so...
That's the only Darkrai I've ever gotten.
Well, it came in broken.
Yes, it did. So
was I incorrect?
That was a correct statement. One of one came in broken, except I ordered him broken. He was advertised as broken. That's why he was so cheap, and I repaired him. So I recommend doing that if you want to add a Darkrai to your collection, because finding a broken one isn't too hard.
Because luckily it's not the actual figure, it's just the stand that comes in broken, so...
Yeah, it's just the stand, and all I really needed to do was re-glue it in his back and re-glue it onto the stand below, and it was fine. The final promo figure, which, by the way, the promo figures had their own numbering. I never mentioned that, but certain promos were going to be released with certain sets, clearly as the first three did with the first set. If you look on the bottom, just so we can take a look at this, they were specifically numbered. Pikachu, you can see right there, is number 8, right there, which is the final promo figure. Now, mistakenly,
oh, it's got the same, like, promo logo as the cards do.
Promos have the same logo as the cards. Now, what was weird, I believe Turtwig and the Judge figure, if you remember from Next Quest, were both numbered number 1.
Oh, that's confusing.
It was a mistake. Somebody wasn't talking to someone that day. But if you add up all the others, just the Pokemon, Pikachu is the last one as number 8. I believe, unless Darkrai is 9.
I actually like this Pikachu a lot.
It's V8.
I like this Pikachu a lot better than the other one.
I mean, what I like about the other one is the other one, I believe, has like the electric clear plastic, but this one looks like he spins really cool.
He's cute, though. I like this one. He's a little cuter.
Figure-wise, it's actually a lot better, too. Like what it does. It's a really good playing the game. Yeah, I know.
Let me go play this with my friends down the street.
I played it with Matt once. It was fun. Kim is such a buzzkill for playing games like this. She just wants to collect things. So, anyway, I don't know.
Collecting, that's my thing, okay?
Also, other fun fact about this is the only Pokemon to get 2 figures in the TFG, which is why I was kind of mad, honestly. I was like, it's like someone stole the slot from something else, but probably would have been another...
They are.
Yeah, I know. You gotta get more Pikachu.
If this was still going on today, we would have probably like 20-something Pikachu.
Yeah, there'd be a bunch of Pikachu figures, I know, but... Either way, that is the end of the TFG, my entire collection. Though, coming in the next video, we're going to be starting to look at my custom shiny paints. I've mentioned several of them throughout these videos we've done of which ones that I have shinies to show you of. They all took a very long time, so we're going to show you about 10 of them in the next video. Aside from that, like I mentioned, I did not get to show you guys my Blaine figure that someone custom made for me. That and all the other up-close looks at all of these figures is in a playlist on my channel you can find in the Pokemon section. So either way, that is all the time we have for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like the videos and subscribe for more, and we will see you all in the next Pokemon collection video.
Bye-bye.
Oh, yep.